Hello, everyone. Welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. Bayern defeated Eintracht Frankfurt today 3-0 away from home in what was a very professional performance and the last game before another dreadful, disgusting international break coming in to ruin our momentum. What the hell, man? Scheiße! Anyways, Luis Diaz proved to everyone today that he was worth 75 million. Okay, that's a stretch, but that performance from Diaz explained to the world why the Bayern board decided to sign him. 75 million, right? Why did Bayern sign Diaz? He answered that question today with a very strong performance. He was everywhere. And before we do anything else, let's just do player ratings, and then we can talk about how wrong I was or how right I am about Diaz. Yeah, you guys are going to be cooking me in the comments. George, you were wrong. Diaz is Neymar. No, I was still right. But I now appreciate and understand why we signed Diaz. Okay. I'm not really sure why these player ratings are showing. I didn't do any of this. Wait, what? This is very weird. I coded this using Grok. Coded the graphic. But it's already showing ratings I didn't put in. That's weird. I had to stop my recording before to restart, and then I opened it, and it's still doing it. That's weird. I guess we're just going to have to change the numbers. Well, to be fair, the number for Manuel Neuer is accurate, 7 out of 10. I thought his performance was a 7 out of 10. Neuer made one really good save, which reminded us that he's still Neuer. He can still make saves. Grandpa can still get his PP up. He doesn't need, what do they call it? The thing that gets men with erectile dysfunction to work. One more time. What is it called? Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting my joke archive. That's weird. Anyways, let's go on to the rest of the team. I don't know why it shows for some players but not others. Like, why is there 3 out of 10 for Kimmich? I didn't put that in. That was not me, okay? This is clearly, I think it remembered some of the ratings I gave from the last match, the Paphos game, and it brought it back. That's weird. Anyways, that's besides the point. Sacha Bowie should be on this other side. A lot is going on incorrectly in this player rating so far. Sacha Bowie, I thought, terrible performance. 5 out of 10. Terrible. You could tell. There was one moment where Olise was, relaxed on the ball, and then he passed it to Bowie, and then Bowie just hurried it and passed it back to Olise. But Olise, he wasn't running in behind. He kind of did that thing he does where he fakes out the defender, makes it look like he's going to run down the line, but he really just stays there. Bowie didn't pick that up, so the ball just went back, and Olise's face was like, oh my God, bro, this guy, bro. Yeah, it was very obvious that Olise did not enjoy playing today against Sacha Bowie, which, in my opinion, affected his performance. That's what happens when your main left back is injured, so you have to play Sacha Bowie at right back and Leimer at left back. Speaking of Leimer, I thought Leimer was everywhere today. I'm going to give him a strong 7 out of 10. His performance was clean. He was emphatic. He was just everywhere. Again, this guy's like 50 lungs, so it's expected of him. Jonathan Tah, I don't like this guy, man, but I'm going to give him a 6. We didn't concede any goals, but I just never feel secure when Jonathan Tah touches the ball. He's such a blocky player. I don't know how to explain it. He's just so uncomfortable to watch. It feels like he's going to give the ball away at any second. And anytime he's defending, I just feel like, oh, bro, he's going to lunge in and get a red. I just don't feel trust with him, okay? I just don't feel trust. So I'm going to give him a 6. Upamecano, I think this was one of his worst performances this season. I don't think I'm wrong in saying that. He looked nervous. He looked startled when he was getting pressed by Frankfurt. He lost the ball like 1 or 2 times. But 5 is still an average rating for, a game where you win. If we lost, I'd be giving him a 1. So, It works out. It's not that he did anything wrong after those mistakes. It's just that he's been playing so well that the first, like 30 minutes of that game kind of, reminded us that he's still human. Goretzka, I'm going to give him a big old 4. Again, similar to Jonathan Tah, anytime Goretzka touches the ball, I get nervous. Okay, I just start thinking, he's going to do some weird touch and he's going to lose it. I don't like Goretzka in that position. I don't know why we pretend he's good. I don't know why we have to give him play time. He's leaving next summer, hopefully. So why not just prepare for the future without him by giving Bischoff, really Pavlovic, his position. Pavlovic should just be playing every game. Kimmich, give Kimmich a 7. I thought there were some really good moments from him. The funny thing with Kimmich is, as much as I don't and will never like him in midfield, because I think he's a liability for us, especially in bigger games, I completely understand why these coaches love him there. I get it. I'm not oblivious to the fact that when it comes down to it, Kimmich knows how to control the pace of the game. Kimmich understands how to make passes to speed things up. He completely gets that part of it. He's a very intelligent player. I always feel secure when Kimmich has the ball and there's options around him, because I always know he's going to pick the safest option. He's not going to do anything crazy most of the times. And sometimes he'll try a long ball and it might come off, it might not. But with Kimmich, you can be rest assured that 90% of the times he's going to pick the obvious pass. And it looks amazing on the stat sheets because they'll end up with a 99% pass accuracy. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, best midfielder in the world. Forgetting he was making sideways passes and obvious passes all game long. But I think that's why the coaches like him. He's reliable and he's trusted on the ball. Olise, not sure why there's a 9. I thought this was one of his worst performances in the season. I just didn't see him doing anything special. 5 out of 10. Same with Gnabry. Actually, Gnabry gets a 2. He missed like 4 chances. He should have scored a lot of goals. And he missed. He missed a lot. Luis Diaz, 10. 10 out of 10. For his standard, that was a great performance. Not just because he scored 2 goals and whatnot, but because he was involved in every phase of play. He was coming back defensively. He was dribbling and it came off, and he was getting fouled a lot because he was a problem for Frankfurt tonight. So I think Diaz deserves a 10 out of 10. Okay, I'm tripping. 9 out of 10. He didn't get a freaking hat trick and freaking nutmeg 50 people. You guys know I'm a technical ability merchant. So today Diaz showed that he can be very good. And I'll speak about Diaz. Well, let's just say it now, because why not? Let me just say it before I get... Actually, you know what? Kane gets an 8 out of 10. Let's just speed run these other ratings. Kane gets an 8 out of 10. What a finish. I hope he's not injured. I haven't really checked. By the way, I went to bed at 4 a.m. because I was doing some work last night. And I woke up at 12. So the game had already happened. So then I went on ESPN. No spoilers. And I asked my Google Gemini, don't activate now that I just said that. I asked, hey, between the Leipzig and Dortmund game and the Bayern and Frankfurt game, which game happened first without spoiling it? And it said the Leipzig and Dortmund game. Because I wanted to watch that game. Because I thought for whatever reason, we might have had the game at 7:30 a.m. my time. So with the confirmation, I was going to watch the Bayern game first and then skim through the Leipzig and Dortmund game on replay without spoilers. Because unlike some of you guys, I actually pay to watch these games. I pay ESPN Plus. It's I don't know. I pay it once a year for the whole year. I don't know how much it is. But then I watched the Leipzig game, which was a pretty high quality game with Dortmund. And yeah, there's some players at Leipzig. Hey, that Diomande guy, that if he gets his head up and starts making intelligent final third decisions, he might be a really good player, Or he'll be like another Kingsley Coman. You never know, or he just dribbles everyone and loses the ball. But yeah, I watched that game and then I watched the Bayern game. So to me, the game is very fresh because I just finished watching it. So that's why it feels like, wow, I'm making this 5 hours after the game. Yeah, I am, because I watched it just recently. Anyways, so let's go to the bench. Kane, great goal. That was a beautiful goal. Guerrero, I'm going to give Guerrero a 6, 7. I thought he got the assist for the Luis Diaz goal. And Guerrero is so intelligent. His flicks, everything about him I like. Very, very intelligent player. Pavlovic, 8 out of 10. He came on and just bossed the game for us. Bischoff came on. I'll give him a 6. I don't think he played as well as Guerrero, but he was sharp, and that's all I need. Leonard Carl, I'll give him a 6. He had 1 or 2 good moments. Jackson, I'll give him a 6. 1 or 2 decent, touches of the ball. They didn't really get that much time, so it doesn't matter. That's why I'm speed running through them. Company, I'll give Company a 7. I thought maybe he should have made a substitution at the 60th minute. I thought Gnabry should have come off way before. Maybe even at halftime for Jackson or for Leonard Carl, whoever. Olise should have probably come off because, he wasn't really playing that well for his standard, of course. And our fans, we were pretty loud. We were Shalalala FC Bayern Munich. Yeah, we were doing all that, but it's Frankfurt, so our fans can't get a 10 out of 10 because Frankfurt fans just bang those drums for 90 minutes and they just never get tired, which is weird. Anyways, that's match ratings over. Luis Diaz, let's talk about him. Every team needs a Willian. And he's our Willian. I completely get him now. I understand. Luis Diaz is Bayern's Willian. Remember Willian at Chelsea? Or whenever he played for Brazil? He was a predictable player. His skill set was very out there, but he worked so hard that it would come off in big games when it mattered. And Luis Diaz is that player for us. I've been kind of thinking, what is this guy about? Because he's not like an elite level dribbler like a Musiala or a Lamine Yamal, or he's not that, or he's not a destructive, scary threat like Vinny Jr., where he just touches the ball and he does these flicks and you're cooked. He does have pace. He has an element of all of that. But because of his predictability, you kind of know he's going to cut in, and and he's not like a super intelligent player like Olise, where he can stand in front of a defender and still unlock a defense with beautiful passes around the corner. He's not Olise, and he's not Coman, where he has no ability to finish in the final third or make good decisions. It's just that he has an element of all. He's like a jack of all the trades, but not a master of any, except when it comes to big games. His hard work and his persistence really shines. And today I thought, okay, I understand Luis Diaz now. He's going to give us some really great performances in big games. He's going to be Willian, where he has everything, but nothing at the same time. No, that's not what I mean. He has a bit of everything, like good finishing when it matters, but also going to miss 1v1s a lot. It's like that second goal was a great sequence for him. Chop the defender, left foot, near post. It looked like a FIFA goal, and it was beautiful to watch. And there was moments where that goal, or that chance where Gnabry should have scored. If that was to Kane, that would have been a goal guaranteed. But Diaz, he completely controlled Frankfurt's defense. He had him looking stupid. Slotted a nice pass in, good weight on it, and Gnabry missed. That's what Diaz can do. So I get his style now. I get him. He can give us moments. He's kind of like Rashford. I think he's a little more technically secured than Rashford. But he's similar to Rashford, where he might play trash for 80 minutes, but for 10 minutes in the game, he'll be unstoppable. And I like that. I think that's what we needed. I didn't realize that's what he was, to be completely honest, because I didn't watch Liverpool that much. I just, from the games I watched of Liverpool, I just didn't see Diaz dominating them. But I get him now. I understand his play style. He is going to be a problem for opposition fans. He's not going to frustrate us like a Kingsley Coman did, because he'll actually perform and get goals and get assists. And that's what Diaz is. I completely understand why the club wanted him. Plus, he's he's injury resistant. He doesn't get injured that often. And I think that was one of the articles that came out explaining his signing, that Bayern specifically scouted resistance to injuries when looking for that winger. And I like that because Gnabry and Coman were injury prone. That's why, honestly, they failed. I wouldn't say Gnabry has failed already because he's still here, but I'd say injuries ruined Kingsley Coman because it's not like, it was his lack of final third convictions that ruined him, his final third IQ. It was more that he couldn't stay fit. If Kingsley Coman would play all our games, he would have been a problem for teams because you got to deal with this guy who is so technically gifted on the ball when dribbling. He's going to go through 4 players. And if you're a good manager, just coach Coman to make one decision. Pass it back to someone. Get someone open after his dribbling sequences. That's all a coach has to do. And coach him to always pass in one zone. And Coman would have been a problem. But the thing is, he would play really well for, 5 games, and then he'd get injured. And that was kind of the thing holding him back. So Luis Diaz, for us, is going to succeed because he's injury resistant. So we'll see his good moments more often than we did with Kingsley Coman or something like that. So I completely like the signing now. I appreciate it. I'm not going to suddenly rate him as a footballer. So you see, I can be objective about his skill set and why I think he'll be important for the team or useful for the team. I wouldn't say important because, Gnabry can play in that position and do similar things. But I can now understand and objectively say this is his skill set. But that doesn't mean I rate him. No, that's not my kind of football. This is a personal decision. I am choosing to appreciate him, give him his credit when it's due. But I don't rate him. It's okay. It's okay, guys. We don't have to rate everybody. Anyways, thank you everyone so much for watching. Good game. International break now to ruin our season. Frickin' A. Who do we play next? Let me quickly look that up. Bayern Munich. Okay. We'll come back and play Dortmund in 2 weeks. So that's going to be fun. Why do we have to play Dortmund? By the way, I hope Kane's fine. Oh, Kane fine for England duty after limping off during Bayern win. Hey, I hope England don't play him in some freaking useless game. October might be a fun month because I think that's when Musiala gets back. Or is it November? Let me actually check. Because I'd like to see what Musiala can do in this team now that we're playing like this. By the way, today wasn't really like a crazy great performance. We just are so confident and the players are so locked in. We cook regardless. Okay. Broken fibula, Musiala. When does he get back? That's the question. I didn't ask what's broken about him. I'm asking when he gets back. Crap, I can't find it anywhere, guys. That's annoying. Yeah, he might get back in late October or November. But he was out for 4 months, right? So, okay, injury history. He's been out for 3 months. So, okay, so it might be like he might be available on the bench in a month because he was supposed to be out for 4 months. I don't know if it was 4 to 5 months or 3 to 4 months. We never know. But, he's at least not on crutches, but he's not training with the ball. Alphonso Davies is already training with the ball. He got injured in March, I believe. Was it March? No, it was in the summer. Yeah, when Canada had that friendly against the U.S., and they still decided to play him. Okay, so... man. Why does transfer mark not show us? Right. Oh my gosh. This guy got over his AC. He was injured July 1st. It's September, right? So September 30th. Well, how many months has it been since July? 3 months. And now it's just about him getting fit because he's already training individually with the ball. And it might take 2 weeks, 3 weeks to start training with the team. And suddenly, November, he's back. That's crazy. Hey, these doctors are doing miracles with these ACL injuries. No, he got injured in March. What am I talking about? I'm tripping. Yeah. It's been like 100. It's been like 190 days, 200 days, which is what, like over half the. Oh yeah, so he's been injured for a while. Yeah, 7 months. Yeah, that's about how that checks out. I was like, yeah, because on my screen it shows like he was injured in July. No. It separates the injuries because of the different seasons. So his injury from last season carried on into the new one, but they separated it because of the season end. But anyways, that's that. Thank you everyone so much for watching. We'll see. We'll see what happens in this international. I don't know what content I'm gonna make. I had a video made for yesterday, but I forgot to upload it. It's about company, and now that he has gotten that record, 10 wins in 10 matches is crazy. Yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching. Mia and peace.